Hello.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. Like I've been hibernating, which kind of true, actually. We've done just a lot of stuff this winter, but kind of hunkered down and just so happy to be outside here and sharing this springtime weather with you.
It is really gorgeous. We're very excited to be out and see all the signs of spring. There's a word for that.
Oh, is it phenology?
Phenology.
Not to be confused with phrenology.
Phrenology was the study of the bumps on
the top of your
skull.
Head?
Yeah.
And phenology is the changing of the seasons.
And the signs that show us that those seasons are coming. And we just hatched this little idea, and we thought it would make a super fun comment section down there. Because as we were walking around and saying, what were our first signs of spring here? This is a new environment for us. We've come down from the Northlands, and there's new plants, there's new animals.
Yeah, lots of things to get used to. But there are some things that are still the same. And for me, one of the things that stood out were the cardinals, which are almost my favorite songbird out there. I love their color. I love their sweetness. So the male goes and gets the seeds for the female and gives her the best ones. And I love their song. And we started noticing a little while ago, I would say maybe even a few weeks ago, that they were really starting to sing their song to each other.
Yeah, I feel like that might almost down here be the very first sign of spring, because it started to happen before it really warmed up. The cardinals seemed to know, even though it still felt like winter, that spring was coming. So they have this special song that they sing in the spring, and that I think is our very first sign. Maybe.
It sounds a little like kind of a lame imitation, but that's sort of the sound. Anyway,
should we tell everybody about my whistling?
Yeah, Kenton doesn't know how to whistle.
I was gonna tell him I was the best whistler ever.
Try it once. Do it. Yeah, cannot whistle.
Yeah, and how many people have said, "Oh, I can teach you how to whistle," and I've sat down with so many people, and they've tried to show me this method and this and this and this, and it just doesn't work.
I gave up a long time ago. But you can do a great owl call.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Speaking of, I feel like that was something I heard a while ago too, where the owls started to do their funny sort of monkey calls with each other, where they're not just doing their straight standard call, but they're getting all like whoop, 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 wah, wah, wah.
It really sounds like monkeys in the woods. This is the barred owl, and it has a standard kind of "who cooks for you" sound. It's kind of like oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. And that's its usual call. But in the spring, they start to get monkey-ish, and I think it's their mating call, and it definitely sounds
so
like you're in the tropics.
Yeah, crazy, except for of course it's snowy and still a little bit dark at times in the morning and the evening. But yeah, the light is shifting too, and that's another thing that I feel like almost seems, even though I know it's supposedly a gradual pace, it seems to all of a sudden at one point just accelerate. All of a sudden the sun is coming up now, and that is just, it's really fun. Get up early and hear the birds singing and greet the sun and greet some of the warmth that's coming back to the world.
There's been the larks. They start calling and have a really, I'm not even going to attempt that one.
Melodious
it's a very
song.
complex, melodious song.
Yeah, and of course the chickadees eventually, I've just heard them recently doing their little cheeseburger. That's what people say. Cheeseburger. I'm not sure if I really like the cheeseburger, but you know, it's sort of what they sound like. And of course the sap is flowing here. We're getting some sap from the maple tree, is delicious. And of course the box elder, that's yummy too if you ever make syrup from that. It's kind of butterscotchy, caramely.
Most people haven't had that. Most people are familiar with the maple syrup, but that box elder syrup is a completely different beast, and it's so good. Try to taste it at least once in your life if you can.
It's delicious, absolutely.
I was out with all the whole troop of kids the other day, and we were seeing what we could see for spring. And we found that the cleavers are kind of our first little wild edible out here in the woods that are
being
honestly
exposed?
I don't know if they've been there the whole time and they're just being exposed, or they have popped up. But they had a lot of fun eating those. There's really, I think there's one down there.
You know, everything is a little bit muddy still, so I'm not sure if I feel like I would want to eat anything from the trail or the woods quite yet.
But you know the kids. just like
Oh, they don't
mud
care.
and all.
Yeah. Nom, nom, nom. They're already all barefoot. That's another sign of spring. If your children are running around with muddy feet and
Barefoot
yeah,
children.
even in the snow and the frozen snow puddles, it's kind of crazy. Oh my gosh, but wow, they're tenacious and they just like, oh, it feels so good. We don't care.
So why the comments are going to be so fun, I am hoping here, is that we have viewers all over the world, and where you live, you're going to have different signs of this season's shifting. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, this won't be spring for you. If you're in the northern hemisphere, what are your spring signs that really stick out for you, or that you've noticed is the very first sign of spring? And then down in the southern hemisphere, let's see.
No, maybe they still call it spring.
Scratching our heads. Well, let's see.
I'm
This
thinking
would be
about
summer for them, so that would be
southern hemisphere.
Yes.
Yeah. So shifting to kind of fall and winter. Yeah, when I
Yeah.
was in Australia, I visited Australia when I was 16, and I went in our summer here in the United States in North America, and it was kind of their winter down there. Yeah, so that would be interesting.
what
to
is
hear.
your shift into winter, right? Like,
Yeah.
what does that look like? What are the signs? And I'm sure we're going to hear about creatures and animals and plants that we're not familiar with, and some of you won't be familiar with, and we can all learn from each other.
Yeah,
and
it's
find out your
well,
phenology.
we were in Hawaii still this time last year, and I remember that there were shifts. People would say you would start to notice, and I feel like we had been there long enough that we were starting to notice a shift in the weather. And also, for example, we'd been seeing lots and lots of humpback whales, and all of a sudden there were just less and less and less and less until finally, this time of year, if you managed to see a humpback whale, oh my gosh, there's still one here. So that was kind of that first sign for me that something was shifting. And of course, where on our side of the island it was starting to get a little bit more rainy, and that of course was without winter where we were, although there was winter on the volcano.
Yeah,
and that
that's
snow
true.
would then
The
melt.
snow, actually.
It's crazy. But so I want to hear from everybody. We want to hear, what do you look for? And maybe you have something every year. Yesterday we heard sandhill cranes flying overhead for the first time. Today we heard red-winged blackbirds.
Sandhill cranes. Those are almost something
They're
5
huge.
or 6 feet tall.
Oh, they're amazing birds. But
Wow.
I always love to hear those sounds in the spring, because it really says, hey, it's just not long before we're going to be seeing all sorts of beautiful things springing up. So I want to hear from you what you look forward to and what you notice. That would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, and you know what? We should tell people that there's something we're going to announce. No, and I remember actually we said we were going to announce something.
I know, a
This was
while
probably,
ago.
That was actually
Like last fall?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and something. So we thought one of our biggest dreams was coming true, and it didn't happen because of some twist of events. But now we've taken things into our own hands, and we have an announcement to make very soon. It is not about a new baby, but it is about a dream of ours that we have had for 30 years. That we've been trying to make come true for a long, long time. It's finally coming true, and you'll get to be part of it in a way if you so choose. So, yeah. Can't wait to share it with
We'll
you.
keep you posted, and tell us what dreams are happening for you now that spring is springing. It's a great time of year to get motivated and just do something different, or something you've been longing to do for a long time. So share that too.
Love to you all. Yeah, we can't wait to talk with you down in the comments. Check this out. Difference between a north and a south facing slope in the spring. Winter? Spring.